In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me. You say it wearies you. But how I caught it, found it, or came by, what stuff 'tis made of, whereof it is born, I am to learn. And such a want of it sadness makes of me, that I have much ado to know myself.
Your mind is tossing on the ocean. There your argosies with portly sail, like signors and rich burghers on the flood, or as it were the pageants of the sea, do overpeer the petty traffickers that curtsy to them, do them reverence as they fly by them on their woven wings.
Believe me, sir, if I had such ventures forth, the better part of my affections would be with my hopes abroad. I should still be plucking the grass to know where sits the wind, peering at maps for courts and piers and roads, and every object that would make me fear misfortune to my ventures out of doubt would make me sad.
Oh, my wind, cooling my broth, would blow me to an ague, were I to think what harm a wind too great might do at sea. Should I see the sandy hourglass run, and not think me straight of shallows and flats, and see my wealthy Andrew decks in sand, veiling her high tops lower than her ribs to kiss her burial? Should I go to church and see the holy edifice of stone, and not think me straight of dangerous rocks, which but touching my gentle vessel's side, would scatter her spices in the stream, and robe the raging waters with my silks? And in a word, now were this, oh, now were nothing. Oh, I know Antonio is sad to think about his merchandise. Oh.
Believe me, no. I thank my fortunes for it. My ventures are not to one bottom trusted, nor to one place, nor is my whole estate upon the fortunes of the present year. Therefore my merchandise makes me not sad.
Why then, you are in love.
In love? Fie. Fie.
Not in love neither. Then let us say you are sad because you are not married, and 'twere as easy for you to laugh and leap and say you are married because you are not sad. Here comes Bassanio, your most noble kinsman, Graziano and Lorenzo. Very well, we will leave you with better company.
I would have stayed till I had made you married, but worthier friends prevented me.
Your worth is very dear in my regard. I take it that your own business calls on you, and you embrace the occasion to depart.
Good morrow, my good lord.
Good signor's boat, when shall we land? Say when. You grow exceeding strange. Must it be so?
We'll make our leisure to attend on yours.
My Lord Bassanio, since you have found Antonio, we too will leave you. But I pray you at dinner time, have in mind where we must meet.
I will not fail you.
You look not well, Signor Antonio. You have too much respect upon the world. They lose it, that do buy it with much care. Believe me, you are marvelously changed.
I hold the world but as the world, Graziano, a stage where every man must play a part, and mine a sad one.
Let me play the fool. With mirth and laughter let old wrinkles come, and let my liver rather heat with wine than my heart cool with mortifying groan. Why should a man whose blood is warm within sit like his grandsire cut in alabaster, sleep when he wakes, and creep into the jaundice by being peevish? I tell you what, Antonio, I love thee, and 'tis my love that speaks. There are a sort of men whose visages do cream and mantle like a standing pond, and do a willful stillness entertain with purpose to be dressed in an opinion of wisdom, gravity, profound conceit, as who should say, I am Sir Oracle, and when I ope my lips, let no dog bark. Oh, my Antonio, I have known of these, that therefore only our reputed wise will say nothing, when, if they should speak, I am very sure, would almost damn those ears, which hearing them would call their brothers fools. I'll tell thee more of this another time, but fish not with this melancholy bait, for this fool gudgeon, this opinion. Come, good Lorenzo, fare you well a while. I'll end my exhortation after dinner.
Well, we will leave you then till dinner time. I must be one of these sane dumb wise men, but Graziano never lets me speak.
Well, keep me company but 2 years more. Thou shalt not know the sound of thine own tongue.
Fare you well. Yet is that anything now?
Graziano speaks an infinite deal of nothing, more than any man in all Venice. His reasons are as 2 grains of wheat hid in 2 bushels of chaff. You shall seek all day ere you find them, and when you have them, they are not worth the search.
Well, Tell me now what lady is the same to whom you swore a secret pilgrimage that you today promised to tell me of?
'Tis not unknown to you, Antonio, how much I have disabled mine estate by something showing a more swelling port than my faint means would grant continuance, nor do I now make moan to be abridged from such a noble rate. To you, Antonio, I owe the most in money and in love, and from your love, I have a warranty to unburden all my plots and purposes, how to get clear of all the debts I owe.
I pray you, good Bassanio, let me know it. And if it stand as you yourself still do within the eye of honor, be assured my purse, my person, my extremest means lie all unlocked to your occasions.
In my school days, when I had lost one chap, I shot his fellow the self-same flight, the self-same way, with more advised watch to find the other forth. By adventuring both, I oft found both. I urge this childhood proof, for what follows is pure innocence. I owe you much, and like a willful youth, that which I owe is lost. But if you please to shoot another arrow, that self-way which you did shoot the first, I do not doubt, as I will watch the aim, or to find both, or bring your latter hazard back again, and thankfully rest deader for the first.
You know me well, and herein spend but time to wind about my love with circumstance. And out of doubt, you now do me more wrong in making question of my uttermost than if you'd made waste of all I have. Then do but say to me what I should do, that in your knowledge may by me be done, and I am pressed unto it. Therefore, speak.
In Belmont is a lady richly left, and she is fair, and fairer than the word, of wondrous virtues. Sometimes from her eyes I did receive fair speechless messages. Her name is Portia. Nothing undervalued to Cato's daughter. Brutus is Portia, nor is the wide world ignorant of her worth. For the four winds blow in from every coast renowned suitors, and her sunny locks hang on her temples like a golden fleece, which makes her seat of Belmont, Colchis Strand, and many Jasons come in quest of her. My Antonio, had I but the means to hold a rival place with one of them, I have a mind presages me such thrift that I should questionless be fortunate.
Thou knowest that all my fortunes are at sea, and neither have I money nor commodity to raise a present sum. Therefore, go forth. Try what my credit may in Venice do. That shall be racked even to the uttermost, to furnish thee to Belmont, to fair Portia. Go, presently inquire, and so will I, where money is. And I no question make, to have it of my trust, or for my sake.
You would be, sweet madam, if your miseries were in the same abundance as your good fortunes are. And yet, for aught I see, they are as sick that surfeit with too much as they that starve with nothing. It is no mean happiness, therefore, to be seated in the mean. Superfluity comes sooner by white hairs, but competency lives longer.
Good sentences, and well pronounced.
They would be better if well followed.
If to do were it easiest to know what were good to do, chapels had been churches, and poor men's cottages, princes' palaces. It is a good divine that follows his own instructions. I can easier teach 20 what were good to be done, than to be one of the 20 to follow mine own teaching. The brain may devise laws for the blood, but a hot temper leaks o'er a cold decree. Such a hair is madness the youth, to skip all the meshes of good counsel the cripple. But this is not in the reasoning to choose me a husband. I think the word choose. I may neither choose whom I would nor refuse who I dislike. So is the will of a living daughter curbed by the will of a dead father. Well, is it not hard, Nerissa, that I can neither choose one nor refuse none?
Your father was ever virtuous, and the lottery that he hath devised in these 3 chests of gold, silver, and lead, whereof who chooses his meaning chooses you, will no doubt never be chosen by any rightly, but one whom you shall rightly love. But what warmth is there in your affection towards any of these princely suitors that are already come?
I pray thee, overname them, and as thou namest them, I'll describe them. And according to my description, level like my affection.
First, there is the Neapolitan prince.
That's a colt indeed, for he does nothing but talk of his horse. And he makes it a great appropriation to his own good parts, that he can shoe him himself. I am much afeard my lady, his mother, played false with a smith.
Then there is the County Palatine.
Oh, he does nothing but frown. He hears merry tales and smiles not. I fear he will prove the weeping philosopher when he grows older, being so full of melancholy sadness in his youth. I had rather be married to a death's head with a bone in his mouth than either of these. Oh, God defend me from those two.
Well, how say you by the French lord, Monsieur Le Bon?
God made him, and therefore let him pass for a man. In truth, I know it is a sin to be a mocker, but he hath a horse better than the Neapolitans, a better bad habit of frowning than the Count Palatine. He is every man in no man. If the throstle sinks, he falls straight to capering. He will fence with his own shadow. If I should marry him, I should marry 20 husbands. If he would despise me, I will forgive him. For if he love me to madness, I shall never requite him.
What say you then to Falconbridge, the young Baron of England?
You know I say nothing to him, for he understands not me, nor I him. He hath neither German, Latin, nor Italian, and you will come into the court and say that I have a poor pennyworth in the English. He is a proper man's picture, but alas, who can converse with a dumb show? How oddly he is suited. I think he got his doublet in Italy, his round hose in France, his bonnet in Germany, and his behavior everywhere.
Well, how like you then, the young Sherman, the Duke of Saxony's nephew?
Very vilely in the morning when he is sober, and most vilely in the afternoon when he is drunk. When he is best, he's a little worse than a man, and when he is worse, he is little better than a beast, and the worst fall that ever fell. I hope I shall make shift to go without him.
If he should offer to choose and choose the right casket, you should refuse to perform your father's will if you should refuse to accept him.
Therefore, for fear of the worst, I pray thee, set a deep glass of Rhenish wine on the contrary casket, for if the devil be within and that temptation without, I know he will choose it. I will do anything, Nerissa. Ere I will be married to a sponge.
You need not fear, lady, the having any of these lords. They have acquainted me with their determinations, which is indeed to return to their home, and to trouble you with no more suit. Unless you may be won by some other sort than your father's imposition, depending on the caskets.
If I live to be as old as Sibylla, I will die as chaste as Diana, unless I be obtained by some other means than my father's will. I am glad this parcel of wooers is so reasonable, for there is not one among them but I dote on his very absence, and God grant them a fair departure.
Do you not remember, lady, in your father's time, a Venetian, a scholar and a soldier that came hither in company of the Marquis of Montferrat?
Yes, it was Bassanio, so I think was he called.
True, madam. He, of all the men that ever my foolish eyes looked upon, was the best deserving of fair lady.
I remember him well, and I remember him worthy of thy praise. Well, now, what news?
4 strangers seek for you, madam, to take their leave, and there is a forerunner come from a fifth, the Prince of Morocco, who brings word the prince's master will be here this night.
If I could bid the fifth welcome with so good heart as I could bid the other 4 farewell, I should be glad of his approach. If he hath the condition of a saint and the complexion of a devil, I would rather he could shrive me than wind me. Come, Nerissa, go you before, While we shut the gate upon one wooer, another knocks at the door.
3,000 ducats? Well,
Aye, sir, for 3 months.
3 months? Well,
For the which, as I told you, Antonio shall be bound.
Antonio shall become bound. Well,
May you stead me? Will you pleasure me? Shall I know your answer?
3,000 ducats for 3 months, and Antonio bound.
Your answer to that?
Antonio was a good man.
Have you heard any imputation to the contrary?
Oh, no. My meaning in saying he is a good man is to have you understand me that he is sufficient. And yet his means are in supposition. He had an argosy to Tripolis, another to the Indies. I understand, moreover, upon the Rialto, he hath a third from Mexico, a fourth for England, and other ventures he has squandered abroad. But ships be but boards. Sailors but men, land rats and water rats, land thieves, water thieves, pirates. And then there be the perils of the waters, winds, rocks. 3,000 ducats. I think I may take his bond.
Be assured you may.
I will be assured I may, and I may be assured I will bethink me. May I speak with Antonio?
Oh, if it please you to dine with us.
Yes, to smell pork. To eat of the habitation which your prophet the Nazarite conjured the devil into. I will walk with you, talk with you, buy with you, sell with you, and so follow. I will not eat with you, drink with you, nor pray with you. What news on the Rialto? Who is he comes here?
This is Signor Antonio.
How like a fawning publican he looks. I hate him, for he is a Christian. But more, for that in low simplicity, he lends out money gratis and brings down the rate of usance with us here in Venice. If I can catch him once upon the hip, I will feed fat the ancient grudge I bear him. He hates our sacred nation, and he rails, even there, where merchants most do congregate, on me, my bargains, my well-won thrift, which he calls interest. Cursed to be my tribe, if I forgive him.
Shylock, do you hear?
I am debating of my present store, and by the near guess of my memory, I cannot instantly raise up the gross a full 3,000 ducats. What of that? But the tubal, a wealthy Hebrew of my tribe will furnish me. But soft you. How many months do you desire? Oh, rest you, fair good signor. Your worship was the last man in our mouths.
Shylock, albeit I neither lend nor borrow by giving nor by taking of excess, yet to supply the right wants of my friend, I'll break a custom. Is he yet possessed of how much he would?
Aye, 3,000 ducats.
And for 3 months?
3 months. I had forgotten. You told me so. Well then, your bond. Let me see. But hear you. Methought you said you neither lend nor borrow upon advantage.
I do never use it.
Oh, when Jacob grazed his uncle Laban's sheep, this Jacob from our holy Abram was, as his wise mother wrote in his behalf, the third possessor. He was the third.
What of him? Did he take interest?
Oh, no, not take interest. Not as you would say, directly interest. But mark what Jacob did. When Laban and himself were compromised, that all the evenings which were streaked and piped should fall to Jacob's hire. The ewes, being rank in the end of autumn, turned it to the rams. And while the work of generation was between these woolly breeders in the act, the skillful shepherd peeled me certain ones, and in the doing of the deed of kind, stuck them up before the fulsome ewes, who, then conceiving, did at eating time fall parti-colored lambs, and those were Jacob's. This was a way to thrive, and he was blessed. And thrift is blessing, if men steal it not.
This was a venture, sir, that Jacob served for. A thing not in his power to bring to pass, but swayed and fashioned by the hand of heaven. Was this inserted to make interest good? Or is it your gold and silver used in rats?
I cannot tell. I make it breathe as fast. But nothing, senor.
The devil can cite scripture for his purpose. An evil soul producing holy witness.
3,000 ducats. A good round sum. 3 months from 12. Let me see the rate.
Well, Shylock, shall we be beholden to you?
Signor Antonio, many a time enough in the Rialto, you have rated me about my monies and my usances. Still have I borne it with a patient shrug, for sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. You call me misbeliever, cutthroat, dog, and spit upon my Jewish gabardine, and all for use of that which is mine own. Well then, and now it appears you need my help. I'll go to then. You come to me, you say, Shylock, we would have money. You say so. You, that did void your room upon my beard, and foot me as you would spurn a stranger cur over your threshold. Monies is your suit. What should I say to you? Should I say, has a cur monies? Is it possible a dog can lend 3,000 ducats? Or shall I bend low and in abundance key with bated breath and whispering humbleness say this? Fair sir, you spit on me Wednesday last. You spurned me such a day. Another time you called me dog. And for these courtesies, I'll lend you thus much monies?
I was like to call thee so again, to spit on thee again, to spurn thee too. If thou wilt lend this money, lend it not as to thy friend. For when did friendship take a breed for barren metal of his friend? Lend it rather to thine enemy, whom if he break, thou mayest with better face exact the penalty.
Hey, look you how you storm. I would be your friend, have your love. Forget the shades you have stained me with. Supply your present wants, and take no doit of usance for my monies. And you'll not hear me. This is kind I offer.
This were kindness.
This kindness will I show. Go with me to a notary. Seal me there your single bond. And in a merry sport, if you would pay me not such a day, such a place, such sum or sums as are expressed in the condition, then let the forfeit be nominated for an equal pound of your fair flesh. To be cut off and taken from what part of your body pleases me.
Content in fate. I'll seal to such a bond, and say there is much kindness in the Jews.
You shall not seal to such a bond for me. I'll rather dwell in my
Fear not, man, I'll not forfeit it. Within 2 months, and that's 1 month before this bond expires, I do expect the return of thrice, 3 times the value of this bond.
Why, look you, Father Abram, how these Christians are, whose own hard dealings teaches them suspect the thoughts of others. I pray you, tell me this. If he should break his day, what should I gain by the exaction of the forfeiture? A pound of man's flesh taken from a man is not so estimable, profitable neither as the flesh of muttons or beefs or goats. I say, to buy his friendship, I make this offer. If he accept it, so. If not, adieu. And for my love, I pray you wrong me not.
Yes, Shylock, I'll seal unto this bond.
Meet me forthwith at the notary's. Give him direction for this merry bond, and I will go and purse the docket straight. See to my house, left in the fearful guard of an unthrifty knave. And presently I'll be with you.
Hi, thee gentle Jew. The Hebrew will turn Christian. He grows kind.
I like not fair terms in a villain's mind.
Come on. In this there can be no dismay. My ships come home a month before the day.
was. Mislike me not for my complexion, the shadowed livery of the burnished sun, to whom I am neighbor and near bred. Bring to me the fairest creature northward born, where Phoebus's fire scarce thaws the icicles, and let us make incision for your love, to prove whose blood is reddest, his or mine. I tell thee, lady, this aspect of mine hath feared the valiant. By my love, I swear the best regarded virgins of our clime have loved it too. I would not change this hue, except to steal your thoughts, my gentle queen.
In terms of choice, I am not solely led by nice direction of a maiden's eyes. Besides, the lottery of my destiny bars me the right of voluntary choosing. But if my father had not scanted me and hedged me by his wit to yield myself to him who wins me by what means I told you, yourself, renowned prince, then stood as fair as any comer I have looked on yet for my affection.
Even for that I thank you. Therefore I pray you lead me to the caskets to try my fortune. By this scimitar that slew a Sophie and a Persian prince that won 3 fields from Sultan Suleiman, I would overstare the sternest eyes that look, outbrave the heart most daring on earth, pluck the sucking cub from the she-bear, yea, mock the lion who roars for his prey to win the lady! But last a while, and so may I, blind fortune leading me, miss that which one unworthier may attain, and die with grieving?
You must take your chance, and either not to attempt to choose at all, or swear before you choose. If you choose wrong, never to speak to lady afterward in ways of marriage. Therefore be advised.
No, will not. Come then, bring me unto my chance.
First forward to the temple. After dinner your hazard shall be made.
Good fortune then, to make me blessed, or cursedest among men.
No.
My conscience will serve me to run from this Jew, my master. The fiend is at mine elbow and tempts me, saying to me, Gobbo, Lancelot Gobbo, good Lancelot, or good Gobbo, or good Lancelot Gobbo. Use your legs, take the start, run away. My conscience says, no, take heed, honest Lancelot, take heed, honest Gobbo, or as aforesaid, honest Lancelot Gobbo. Do not run, scorn running with thy heel. Well, the most courageous fiend bids me pack. Via, says the fiend. Away, says the fiend. For the heavens, rouse up a brave mind, says the fiend, and run. Well, my conscience, hanging about the neck of my heart, says very wisely to me, my honest friend Lancelot. Being an honest man's son, or rather an honest woman's son, well, my conscience says, Lancelot, budge not. Budge, says the fiend. Budge not, says my conscience. The conscience, say I, you counsel well. Fiend, say I, you counsel well. To be ruled by my conscience, I should stay with the Jew, my master, who is, God bless the mark, a kind of devil. And to run away from the Jew, I should be ruled by the fiend, who, saving your reverence, is the devil himself. Certainly the Jew is the very devil incarnation, and in my conscience is but a kind of hard conscience to serve to counsel me to stay with the Jew. The fiend gives some more friendly counsel. I will run, fiend. My heels are at your commandment. I will run.
Master, young man, I pray you, which is the way to Master Gild?
Oh, heavens, this is my true begotten mother, who, being more than sand blind, high gravel blind, knows me not. I will try confusions with her.
Master, young gentleman, which is the way to Master Gild's?
Turn up on your right hand at the next turning, but at the next turning of all on your left. Marry at the very next turning, turn of no hand, but turn down indirectly to the Jew's house.
Oh, by God, Santis, 'twill be a hard way to hit. Young man, can you tell me whether one Lancelot that dwells with him or no?
Talk you of young Master Lancelot? Mark me now. Now I will raise the waters. Talk you of young Master Lancelot?
No, Master, sir, but a poor woman's son, whose mother, though I say it, is an exceedingly honest poor old woman, and God be thanked, well to live.
Well, let his mother be what it will. We talk of young Master Lancelot, mother, for the young gentleman is, indeed, deceased. Or, as you would say in plain terms, gone to heaven.
Oh, Maddie, God forbid. The boy was the very staff of the age. May Maddie prop.
Do I look like a cudgel or a hubble post? A staff or a prop? Do you know me, mother?
Alas, Cadet, I know you not. But can you tell me, is my son, God rest his soul, alive or dead?
Do you not know me, mother?
Alas, I am sand-blind. I know you not.
Oh, nay, indeed. If you had your eyes, you might fail of knowing me. It is a wise mother that knows her own child. Well, old woman, I will tell you news of your son. Give me your blessing. Truth will come to light, murder cannot be hid long. A woman's son may, but in the end, truth will out.
Please, young man, stand up. I cannot think that you are Lancelot.
Pray, let's have no more fooling about it. But give me your blessing. I am Lancelot. Your boy that was, your son that is, your child that shall be.
I cannot think that you are me son.
I know not what I shall think of that. But I am Lancelot, the Jew's man, and I am sure Marjorie is my mother.
My name is Marjorie indeed. And I'll be sworn if thou art Lancelot, then thou art truly mine own flesh and blood. Oh, Lord, be worshipped. What a beard hast thou grown. Thou hast more hair on thy chin than Dobbin my Philhorse has on his tail.
It should seem then that Dobbin's tail grows backward. I am sure he had more hair on his tail than I have on my face when I last saw him.
Oh, you have changed so. Tell me, how do you and your master agree? I've broken a present. How agree you now?
Well, but for my own part, as I have set up my rest to run away, so I will not rest till I have run some ground. My master's a very Jew. Give him a present? Give him a halter? Oh, I am famished in his service. You may tell every finger I have with my ribs. Oh, mother, I am glad you are come. Give me your present to one Master Bassanio, who indeed gives rare new liveries. If I serve him not, I will run as far as God has any ground. Rare fortune, here comes the man. To him, mother, for I am a Jew if I serve the Jew any longer.
You may do so, but let it be so hasted that supper be ready at the farthest by 5 o'clock. See these letters delivered, put the liveries to making, and desire Graziano to come anon to my lodging.
To a mother?
God bless you, worship.
For mercy, wouldst thou off with me?
It is me, son, sir, a poor boy.
Not a poor boy, sir, but the rich Jews, men, that would, sir, as my mother shall
And he has a great affection, as one would say, to serve you.
Indeed, the short and long is, I serve the Jew, and have a desire as my mother shall specify.
He and the master are Begging your worship's reverence, our scarce came to cousins.
To be brief, the very truth is the Jew, having done me wrong, doth cause me, as my mother, I hope being an old woman, shall fructify unto you.
I brought you a dish of doves, which I shall bestow upon your worship, and my suit is that
very
would like-
brief. The suit is impertinent to myself. As your worship shall know by this honest old woman, and though I say it, though old woman, yet poor woman, my mother.
Whoa! Speak for both. What would you?
Serve you, sir.
And that is the very defect of the man.
I know thee well. Thou hast obtained thy suit. Shylock, thy master, spoke with me this day, and hath preferred thee, if it be preferment, to leave the rich Jew's service and become the follower of so poor a gentleman.
The old proverb is very well parted between you and my master Shylock, sir. You have the grace of God, sir, and he hath enough.
Thou speakest it well. Go, mother, with thy son. Take leave of thy old master and inquire my lodging out. Give him a livery more guarded than his fellows. See it done, mother, in.
I cannot get a service, no. I have ne'er tongue in my head.
Well, I pray thee, good Leonardo, think on this. These things being bought and orderly bestowed, return in haste, for I do feast tonight my best esteemed acquaintance. I thee, go.
My best endeavors shall be done here.
Where's your master?
Yonder, sir, he walks.
Signor Bassanio.
Graziano.
I have a suit to you.
You've obtained it.
You must not deny me. I must go with you to Belmont.
Why, then you must. Oh, but hear thee, Graziano. Thou art too wild, too rude, and bold of voice. Oh, no, parts have become thee happily enough, and in such eyes as ours appear not as false. But where thou art not known, why there they appear something too liberal. I pray thee, take pains to allay with some cold drops of modesty thy skipping spirit, lest through thy wild behavior I be misconstrued in the place I go to, and lose my hopes.
Signor Bassanio, hear me. If I do not put on a sober hat, talk with respect, and swear, but now and then, wear prayer books in my pockets, look demurely, nay more, while grace is saying, put mine eyes thus with my hand, and sigh, and say amen, use all the observance of civility like one well studied in a sad ostent to please his grandam, never trust me more.
Well, we shall see your bearing.
Nay, but I bar tonight. You shall not gauge me by what we do tonight.
No, that were pity. Tonight I would rather entreat you to put on your boldest suit of mirth. For we have friends that do purpose merriment. But fare you well, I have some business.
And I must to Lorenzo and the rest, but we will visit you at supper time.
I'm sorry that will leave my father so. Our house is hell, and thou, merry devil, didst rob it of some taste of tediousness. But fare thee well. There is a ducat for thee. And, Lancelot, soon at supper shalt thou see Lorenzo, thy new master's guest. Give him this letter. Do it secretly. And so farewell. I would not have my father see me speak with thee.
Oh, do. 'Tis exhibit my tongue, most beautiful pagan, most sweet Jew. If a Christian do not play the knave and get thee, I am much deceived. But, adieu, these foolish drops do something drown my manly spirit. Adieu.
Farewell, good Lancelot. Alack! What heinous sin is it in me to be ashamed to be my father's child? But though I am daughter to his blood, I am not to his manners. Oh! Lorenzo, if thou keep promise, I shall end this strife, become a Christian, and thy loving wife.
Nay, we will slink away in supper time, disguise us at my lodging, and return all in an hour.
We have not made good preparation.
We have not yet spoke of torchbearers.
'Tis vile unless it may be quaintly ordered, and better to my mind not to be undertook.
'Tis now but 4 o'clock. We have 2 hours to furnish us. Ah, friend Lancelot, what's the news?
And it shall please you to break up this. Each shall seem to signify.
I know the hand. In faith is a fair hand, and whiter than the paper writ upon is the fair hand that writ.
Love news in faith. By your leave, sir.
Well, whither goest thou?
Marry, sir, to bid my old master the Jew sup tonight with my new master the Christian.
Hold. Here. Take this. Tell gentle Jessica I will not fail her. Speak it privately. Go. Gentlemen, will you prepare you for this mass tonight? I am provided of a torchbearer.
Mary, I'll be going to bed at 3.
And so shall I.
Meet me in Graziano at Graziano's lodging some hour hence.
Tis good we do so.
Was not that letter from fair Jessica?
I must needs tell thee all. She hath directed how I shall take her from her father's house, what gold and jewels she is furnished with, what page's suit she hath in readiness. If e'er the Jew her father come to heaven, it will be for his gentle daughter's sake. And never dare misfortune cross her foot, unless she do it under this excuse. She is issue to a faithless Jew. Come, go with me. Peruse this as thou goest. Fair Jessica shall be my torchbearer.
Well, now shalt see. I shall be thy judge in the difference of old Shylock and Bassanio. What, Jessica? Thou shalt not gourmandize as thou hast done with me. What, Jessica? Nor sleep, nor snore, nor rend the parallel. What, Jessica, I say?
But what, Jessica?
Who bid thee call? I did not bid thee call.
Your worship was wont to tell me I could do nothing without bidding.
What is your will?
Oh, Jessica. Yeah. I am bid forth to supper. There are the keys. But wherefore should I go? I'm not bid for love. They do flatter me. But I'll go out of hate and feed upon the prodigal Christian. Jessica, my girl, look to my house. But I am right loath to go. There is some ill a-brewing toward my rest.
I beseech you, sir, go. My young master doth expect your reproach.
So do I his.
And they have conspired together. I will not say you shall see a mask, but if you do...
What? Are there masks? Now hear you me, Jessica. Lock up my doors. And when you hear the drum and the vital squealing of the wry-necked fife, clever not you up the casements then, nor thrust your head into the public street, but gaze on Christian fools with varnished faces. But stop up my house's ears. I mean my casements. Let not the sound of shallow poppery enter my sober house. By Jacob's staff, I swear I have no mind of feasting forth tonight. But I will go. Now go you before me, sirrah, say I will come.
I will go before, sir. Mister, look out at window for all this. There will come a Christian by, will be worth the Jewess eye.
What says that fool of Hagar's offspring, huh?
His words were, farewell, mistress, nothing else.
The patch is kind enough, but a huge feeder. Snail slow and prophet. He sleeps by day more than a wildcat. Drones hide not with me. Therefore I part with him. And part with him to one that I would have him help to waste his borrowed purse. Well, Jessica. Go in. Perhaps I will return immediately. Do as I bid you. Shut doors after you. Take in the bench. Fast fine, fast fine. Brother, never stay on the thrifty mind.
Farewell. And if my fortune be not crossed, I have a father, you a daughter lost.
the penthouse under which Lorenzo desired us to make stand.
His hour is almost past.
And it is marvel he outdwells his hour, for lovers ever run before the clock.
Here comes Lorenzo. More of this hereafter.
Sweet friends, your patience my long abode. Not I, but my affairs have made you wait. When you shall please to play the feast for wives, I'll wait as long for you therein. Approach. Here dwells my father Jew. Ho! Who's within?
Who are you? Tell me more for certainty, albeit I swear that I do know your tongue.
Lorenzo and thy love.
Lorenzo certain and my love indeed. Oh, who love I so much? Oh, and now who knows but you, Lorenzo, whether I am yours?
Heaven and thy thoughts are witness that thou art.
Here, catch this casket. It is worth the pains. I am glad 'tis night you do not look on me, for I am much ashamed of my exchange. But love is blind. Lovers cannot see the pretty follies that themselves commit, for if they could, Cupid himself would blush to see me thus transformed into a boy.
Descend, for you must be my torch-bearer.
What? Must I hold a candle to my shames? They in themselves, good sooth, are too light. 'Tis an office of discovery, love, and I should be obscured.
So are you, sweet, even in the lovely garnish of a boy. But come at once, for the close night doth play the runaway. We are stayed for at Bassanio's feast.
I shall make fast the doors, gild myself with some more ducats, and be with you straight.
Beshrew me, but I love her heartily. For she is wise, if I can judge of her. And fair she is, if that mine eyes be true. And true she is, that she hath proved herself. And therefore, like unto herself, wise, fair, and true, shall she be placed in my constant soul. When art thou come? On, gentlemen, away. Our masking mates by this time for us stay.
Who's there? Signor Antonio?
Fie, Graziano. Where are all the rest? 'Tis 9 o'clock. Our friends all stay for you. No masks tonight. The wind has come about. Bassanio presently will go aboard. I have sent 20 out to seek for you.
I am glad on it, for I desire no more delight than to be under sail and gone tonight.
Go. Draw aside the curtains and discover the several caskets to this noble prince. Now make your choice.
How shall I know if I choose the right?
The one of them contains my picture, Prince. If you choose that, then I am yours withal.
Some god direct my judgment. Let me see. I will survey the inscriptions back again. What says this leaden casket? Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. Must give? For what? For lead? Hazard for lead? Men who hazard all do so in hopes of fair advantages. Not gold in mine stoops not to shows of dross. I'll then not give, nor hazard aught for lead. What says this silver with her virgin hue? Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. As much as he deserves. Now pause there, Morocco, and weigh thy value with an even hand. Thou beest rated by thy estimation, thou dost deserve enough. But enough may not extend so far as the lady. To be afeard of my own deserving were but a weak disabling of myself. As much as I deserve. Why, that's the lady. I do in birth deserve her, in fortune, in graces, in qualities of breeding, but more than this,
in love do I deserve? Oh, but if I stray no farther and chose here, let me read once more the same graved in gold. Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. Why, that's the lady! The whole world desires her. From the four corners of the earth they come to kiss the shrine, this mortal breathing saint. Deliver me the key. Here do I choose and thrive I as I may.
There. Take it, Prince, and if my phone lie there, then I am yours.
Oh hell, what have we here? A carrion death, within whose empty eye there's a written scroll. I'll read the writing. All that glisters is not gold. Often have you heard that told. Many a man his life hath sold, but my outside to behold. Gilded tombs do worms enfold. Had you been as wise as old, young in limbs and judgment old, your answer had not been inscrolled. Fare you well, your suit is cold. Cold indeed and labor lost. Farewell heat and welcome frost. Portia, adieu. And too great the heart to take a tedious leave, thus losers part.
Draw the curtains, go. Let all of his complexion choose thee so.
Why, man, I saw Bassanio under sail. With him was Graziano going along, and in their ship I am sure Lorenzo was not.
The villain Jew with outcries raised the Duke who went with him to search Bassanio's ship.
He came too late. The ship was under sail. And there the Duke was given to understand that in a gondola were seen together Lorenzo and his amorous Jessica. Besides, Antonio certified the Duke they were not together with Bassanio in his ship.
I never heard a passion so confused, so strange, outrageous, and so variable as the dog Jew can utter in the streets. My daughter! Oh, my ducat! Oh, my daughter, glad me the Christian! Oh, my Christian ducat! Justice to law, my daughter, my ducat, a sealed bag, 2 sealed bags of ducats, double ducats, and jewels, 2 stones, 2 rich and precious stones stolen by my daughter. Justice, find the girl, she hath the stones upon her, and the ducat.
Why, all the boys in Venice follow him crying, my stones, my daughter, and my daughter.
Let good Antonio look ye, keep his day, or he shall pay for this.
Marry, well remembered. I reasoned with a Frenchman yesterday. He told me on the narrow seas that part the French and English there miscarried a vessel of our country, richly fraught. I thought of Antonio when he told me this, and wished in silence it were not his.
You will best let Antonio know what you hear, yet do not suddenly, for it may grieve him.
A kinder gentleman treads not the earth. I saw Antonio and Bassanio part. Bassanio told him to make some haste of his return. He answered, do not so. Slubber not business for my sake, Bassanio, but stay the very ripening of the time. Be married, and let your chiefest fancy of courtship with such fair a sense of love as shall conveniently become you there.
I think he only loves the world for him. I pray thee, let us find him out, and quicken his embrace's heaviness with some delight or other.
Do we so?
Presently.
Behold, there stand the caskets, noble prince. If you choose that wherein contained, straight shall our nuptial rites be solemnized. But if you fail,
Without more speech, my lord, you must be gone from him immediately.
I am enjoined by oath to observe 3 things. First, never to unfold to anyone which casket was I chose. Next, if I fail of the right casket, never in my life to woo a maid in way of marriage. Lastly, if I do fail in fortune of my choice, immediately to leave you and be gone.
To these injunctions, everyone does swear that comes to hazard for my worthless self.
And so have I, addressed me. Fortune now to my heart's hope. Gold, silver, and base lead. Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. You shall look fairer ere I give or hazard. What says the golden chest? Let me see. Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. What many men desire. That many may be meant by the full multitude that choose by show. I will not choose what many men desire, because I will not jump with common spirits and rank me with the barbarous multitudes. Why then, to thee, thou silver treasure hast, tell me once more what title thou dost bear. Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. And well said, too. For who shall go about to cozen fortune and be honorable without the stamp of merit? Let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity. Well, but to my choice. Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. I will assume desert. Give me the key for this, and instantly unlock my fortunes here.
Too long a pause for that which you find there.
What's here? The portrait of a blinking idiot. Handing me a schedule. I will read it. How much unlike art thou to Portia? How much unlike my hopes and my deserving? Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. Did I deserve no more than a fool's head? Is that my prize, or my deserts no better?
To offend and judge are of distinct offices and of opposite natures.
What is here? Some there be that shadows kiss. Such have but a shadow's bliss. There be fools alive with silvered ore. And so was this. Take what wife you will to bed, I will ever be your head. So be gone, you are a sped. Still more fool shall I appear by the time I linger here. With one fool's head I came to woo, but I go away with 2. Sweet, adieu. I'll keep my oath patiently to bear my robe.
Thus, as the candle singed the moth, oh, these deliberate fools. When they do choose, they have wisdom by their wits to lose.
The ancient saying is no heresy. Hanging and wiving go by destiny.
Draw the curtains, Nerissa.
Where is my lady?
Here, what would my lady?
Madam, there is light at your gate, a young Venetian, one that comes before to signify the approaching of his lord, from whom he bringeth sensual regret, to wit, besides commends and courteous breath, gifts of rich value. Yet I have not seen so likely an ambassador of love. A day in April never came so sweet to show how costly summer was at hand, as a forest-bearer comes before his lord.
No more, I pray thee. I have fear that will say anon he some kin to that spend such high day wit in praising him. Come, Nerissa, for I long to see quick Cupid's post that comes so mannerly.
Oh, Bassanio, Lord Love, if thy will it be.
Now, what news of the Rialto?
rich ship of lading, wrecked on the narrow seas. The Goodwins, I think they call the place. A very dangerous flat and fatal, with the carcasses of many a tall ship lie buried. They say, if my gossip report be an honest woman of her word.
I would she were as blind the gossip as ever napped her, or made her neighbors believe she wept for the death of a third husband. But it is true, without any slips of felicity or crossing the plain highway of talk, that the good Antonio, the honest Antonio, oh, that I had a title good enough.
Come, the full stop.
What sayest thou? Why, in the end, he hath lost his ship.
I would have proved the end of his losses.
Oh, let me say amen. Betimes, lest the devil cross my path. For here he comes, in the likeness of a Jew. How now, Shylock? What news among the merchants?
You knew. None so well as you of my daughter's flight.
Oh, that's certain. I for one knew the tail of the maid the wing she flew withal.
And Shylock, for his own part, knew the bird was fledged, and that it is the complexion of them all to leave the damned.
She is damned for it.
That's certain if the devil be her judge.
My own flesh and blood to rebel.
How the ponded old carrion rebels it at these years?
Might say my daughter is my flesh and my blood.
There is more difference between thy flesh and hers than between jet and ivory. More between thy blood than between red wine and Rhenish. But tell us, have you heard whether Antonio hath any loss at sea or no?
There, I have another bad match. The bankrupt, the prodigal, who's there scarce saw his head on the Rialto. A beggar. He used to come so smug upon the morrow. Let him look to his... Oh. He was one to call me usurer. Let him look to his bond. He was one to lend money for a Christian courtesy. Let him look to his bond.
Why, I am sure if he is forfeit, thou shalt not take his flesh.
Oh, what's that good for? To bait fish withal. If it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. I have disgraced me, hindered me, half a million. Left at my losses, mocked at my gains, scorned my nation, thwarted my bargains, cooled my friends, hated mine enemies. And what's his reason? I am a Jew. Has not a Jew eyes? Has not a Jew hands? Organs? Dimensions? Senses? Affections? Passions? Fed with the same food. Hurt with the same weapons. Subject to the same diseases. Healed by the same means. Heated and cooled by the same summer and winter as a Christian is. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you take us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we can be like you and the rest, we shall resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? By revenge. Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be by Christian example? Villainy you teach me, I will execute, and it shall go hard. For I will better the instruction.
Gentlemen, my master Antonio is at his house. He desires to speak with you both.
We look for him up and down.
Oh, now, Silver, what news from Genoa? Hast thou found my daughter?
I often came what I did hear of her, but cannot find her.
There. Diamond gold. Cost me 2,000 ducats in Frankfurt. I never felt the curse until now. The curse never fell upon me until now. 2,000 ducats in that and other precious jewels. I would my daughter was dead at my foot and the jewels in her ear. Would she were hearsed at my foot, the ducat in her coffin. No news of them, why so? I know not what's spent in the service.
Why, now, loss upon loss. The thief goes so much to find the thief, and no satisfaction, no revenge. No ill luck stirring, but with lights on my shoulder. No sighs within my breathing, no tears within my shedding.
Yes, other men have ill luck too. Antonio, as I heard in Genoa.
What? Ill luck?
Hath an argosy cast away coming from Tripoli.
Thank God. Is it true?
I spoke with some of the sailors that escaped the wreck.
Thanks be to you, Mo. Good news. Heard in Genoa.
Your daughter spent in Genoa, as I heard, one night 4 ducats.
Sticks the dagger in me. I'll never see my gold again. 4 ducats in a sitting? 4 ducats?
There came diverse of Antonio's creditors in my company to Venice that swear he cannot help but break.
I'm very glad of it. I'll plague him. I'll torture him. I'm glad of it.
One of them showed me a ring he had of your daughter for a monkey.
Out upon her. Thou torturest me too, Mo. That was my turquoise. I had it of Leo when I was a bachelor. I would not have given that for a wilderness of monkeys.
But Antonio is certainly undone.
That's true. Go to. Fee me an officer. Bespeak him a fortnight before. I will have the heart of him if he forfeit. For were he out of Venice, I can make what merchandise I will. Go to. Meet me at our synagogue. Go to. At our synagogue.
Good gentles all, I come to say, intermission's underway. Relax, converse, and have no fear. Refreshments beckon from the rear. Tasty, succulent, and affordable. And the potties are not portable. But when you see our young folks dance, move gently back, and then, perchance, 'tis time to then resume your cues. Our second act forthwith ensues.
for in choosing wrong, I lose your company. Therefore forbear a while. There is something tells me, but it is not love. I would not lose you. And yet you know yourself hate counsels not in such a quality. But lest you should not understand me well, and yet it made me have no tongue, but thought I would detain you here some month or two before you venture for me. I could teach you how to choose right. Then I am forsworn. Oh, so may you miss me, so may I never be. But if you do, you'll make me wish a sin that I had been forsworn. Beshrew your eyes. They have o'erlooked me and divided me. One half of me is yours, the other half yours. Mine own, I would say, but it's mine and yours, and so all yours. Oh, these naughty times with bars between the owners, and that right, and so though yours, not yours, proof it, so let fortune go to hell for not us. I speak too long. But 'tis to piece the time, to eke it, and to draw it out to stay you from election.
Let me choose, for as I am, I live upon the rack.
On the rack, Bassanio? Then confess what treason there is mingled with your love.
None but that ugly treason of mistrust which makes me fear the enjoying of my love. There may as well be snow and fire between envy and life as treason in my love.
Aye, but I say you speak upon the rack where men enforced do speak anything.
Promise me life, and I will confess the truth.
Then confess and live.
Confess and love would be the sum of my confession. But let me to my fortune and the castle.
Away then. I am locked in one of them. If you love me, you will find me out. Nerissa and the rest stand all aloof. Let music sound while he doth make his choice. Oh, go, Hercules. Live though I live. Much, much more dismay I view the fight now makes fray.
Shows be least themselves. The world is still deceived with ornament. In law, what plea so tainted and corrupt, but being seasoned with a gracious voice, obscures the show of evil? And in religion, oh, what damned error, but some sober brow will bless it and approve it with a text, hiding the grossness with fair ornament. There is no vice so simple, but soon some mark of virtue on his outward parts. How many cowards, whose hearts are all as false as stairs of sand, wear yet upon their chins the beards of Hercules and frowning Mars, who inward searched have livers white as milk. Thus, ornament is but the guiled shore to a most dangerous sea, the beauteous scarf veiling an Indian beauty. In a word, the seeming truth which cunning times put on to entrap the wisest. Therefore, thou gaudy gold, hard food for Midas, I will none of thee, nor none of thee, thou pale and common drudge between man and man. But thou, meager lead, which rather threatenest than dost promise aught. Thy paleness moves me more than eloquence, and here choose I. Joy be the consequence.
Love, be moderate. Allay thy ecstasy and measure rein thy joy. Blessed essay. I feel too much I say, make it last for fear I suffer.
What find I here? Fair Portia's counterfeit. What demigod hath come so near creation? Move these eyes, or whether riding on the balls of mine, seen they in motion. Here severed lips parted with sugar breath, so sweet a bar should sunder such sweet friends. Here in her hairs the painter plays the spider, and hath woven a golden mesh to entrap the hearts of men. Here's the scroll, continent and summary of my fortune. You that choose not by the view, chance as fair, and choose as true. Since this fortune falls to you, be content and seek no new. If you be well pleased with this, and hold your fortune for your bliss, turn you where your lady is, and claim her with a loving kiss. A gentle scroll. Fair lady, by your leave, I come, I note, to give and to receive, as one of two contending in a prize that thinks he has done well in people's eyes. Hearing applause, universal shout, giddy in spirit still, gazing in a doubt whether these peals of praise be his or no. And so, thrice fair lady, stand I even so as doubtful whether what I see be true, until confirmed, signed, ratified by you.
You see me, Lord Bassanio, where I stand, such as I am. Yet for myself alone I would not be ambitious in my wish to wish myself much better. Yet for you, I would be treble 20 times myself, 1,000 times more fair, 10,000 times more rich. That to stand only high in your accounts, I might in virtues, beauties, living friends exceed accounts. But the full sum of me is some of something which determined growth, as an unlessoned girl, unschooled, unpracticed. Happy in this, she is not yet so old that she may learn. Happier than this, she is not bred so dull, but she can learn. Happiest of all is that her gentle spirit commits itself to yours, to be directed, as from her lord, her governor, her king. Myself and what is mine to you and yours is now converted. Now I was the lord of this fair mansion, master of my servants, queen or myself. Even now, but now, this house, these servants, and this same myself, all yours, my lord. I give them with this ring, which when you part from lose or give way, let it presage the ruin of your love and be my vantage to exclaim on you.
Madam, you have bereft me of all words. Only my blood speaks to you in my hand. And there is such confusion in my powers, where every something bled together turns to a wild of nothing save of joy expressed, not expressed. When this ring parts from this finger, then parts life from hence. Then be bold to say, Bassanio's dead.
My lord and lady, it is now our time that have stood by and seen our wishes prosper to cry, good joy, my lord and lady.
My lord Bassanio and my gentle lady, I wish you all the joy that you can wish, for I am sure you can wish none from me. And when your honors mean to solemnize the bargain of your faith, I do beseech you, even at that time, I may be married too.
With all my heart, so thou canst get a wife.
I thank your lordship. You have got me one. My eyes, my lord, can look as swift as yours. You saw the mistress, I beheld the maid. You love, I love. For intermission no more pertains to me, my lord, than you. Your fortune stood upon the caskets there, so did mine too, as the matter falls. For wooing here until I sweat again, and swearing till my very roof was dry with oaths of love. At last, if promise last, I got a promise of this fair one here to have her love, provided that your fortune achieved her mistress.
Is this true, Nerissa?
Madam, it is. So you stand pleased with all.
And do you, Gratiano, mean good faith?
Yes, faith, my lord.
Our feast shall be much honored in your marriage.
Oh, but who comes here? Lorenzo and his infidel. What, and my own Venetian friend, Salario?
Lorenzo and Salario, welcome hither. If that the youth of my new interest here have power to bid you welcome, by your leave, I bid my very friends and countrymen sweet Portia welcome.
And so do I, my lord. They are entirely welcome.
I thank your honor. For my part, my lord, my purpose was not to have seen you here, but meeting with Salerio by the way, he did entreat me past all saying nay to come with him along.
I did, my lord, and with good reason. Senor Antonio commends him to you.
Ere I open this letter, tell me how my good friends are.
Not sick, my lord, unless it be in mind. Nor well, unless it be in mind. His letter there will show you his estate.
Larissa, cheer yon stranger, hither look. Your hands, Salerio. What's the news in Venice? How doth that royal merchant, good Antonio? I know he will be glad of our success. We are the Jasons. We have won the fleet.
I would you had won the fleet that he hath lost.
There's some true content in the Amazon paper that steals the color from Bassanio's cheek. But some dear friend dead, else nothing in the world could change so much the constitution of any constant man. But worse and worse. With leave, Bassanio, I am half yourself and must freely have the half of anything that this same paper brings you.
Sweet Portia, here are a few of the unpleasantest words that ever blotted paper. When I did first impart my love to you, I freely told you all the wealth I have ran in my veins. I was a gentleman, dear lady, and then I told you true, and yet, rating myself at nothing, you shall see how much I was a braggart. When I told you my state was nothing, I should then have told you that I was worse than nothing. For indeed, I have engaged myself to a dear friend, engaged my friend to his mere enemy to feed my means. Here is a letter, lady. The paper is the body of my friend, and every word in it, a gaping wound issuing lifeblood. But is it true, Salerio? Have all his ventures failed? Not one hit from Tripolis in Mexico and England, Lisbon, Barbary and India. Not one vessel escaped the dreadful touch of merchant-marring rock?
Not one, my lord. Besides, it should appear that if he had the present money to discharge the Jew, he would not take it. Never have I known such a creature that to bear the shape of man, so keen and greedy as to confound a man. He plies the Duke at morning and at night, and does impeach the freedom of the state if they deny him justice. 20 merchants, the Duke himself, and the magnificos of greatest port have all persuaded with him, but none can drive him from his envious plea of justice, forfeiture of his bond.
When I was with him, I heard him swear to Tubal and to Cush, his countrymen, that he would rather have Antonio's flesh than 20 times the sum that he did owe him. And I know, my lord, law, authority, or power deny not. It will go hard with poor Antonio.
Is it your dear friend that is in thus trouble?
Dearest friend to me, the kindest man, the best conditioned and unwearied spirit in doing courtesies, and one in whom the ancient Roman honor more appears than any that draws breath in Italy.
What sum owes he the Jew?
For me, 3,000 ducats.
What, no more? We'll pay him 6,000 and deface the bond. Double 6,000 and then treble that, before a friend of this description shall lose a hair for a Bassanio's bond. First go to church with me and call me wife, and then to Venice to your friend. Or never shall you lie by Portia's side with an unquiet soul. You shall have gold to pay the petty debt 20 times over. When it is paid, bring your true friend along. Larissa and myself will live as maids and widows in the meantime. Come away, for you shall hence upon your wedding day. Bid your friends welcome, show a merry cheer, for as you are dear both, I will love you, dear. But let me hear the letter of your friend.
Sweet Bassanio, my ships have all miscarried, my creditors grow cruel, my estate is very low, my bond to the Jew is forfeit. Since in paying it, it is impossible that I should live, all debts are cleared between you and I, if I might but see you at my death. Notwithstanding, use your pleasure. If your love do not persuade you to come, let not my letter.
Oh, now dispatch your business and be gone.
Since I have your good leave to go away, I will make haste. But till I come again, no bed shall e'er be guilty of my stay, nor rest be interposer twixt us twain.
Jailer, look to him. Tell me not of mercy. This is the fool that lent out money gratis. Jailer, look to him.
Hear me yet, good
I
child.
have my bond.
speaks not against my bond. I have sworn an oath to have my bond. Thou callest me dog before thou hast cause. But since I am a dog, beware my fangs. The Duke shall grant me justice. I do wonder, thou naughty jailer, that thou art so fond to bring him abroad at his request.
I pray thee,
I have my bond. I will not hear thee speak. I have my bond, therefore speak no more. I'll not be paid, a dull fool, to shake the head, relent, sigh, yield to Christian intercessors. Don't follow. I'll have no speaking. I'll have my bond.
It is the most impenetrable cur that ever kept with men.
Let him alone. I'll follow him no more with bootless prayers. He seeks my life. His reasons well I know. I oft delivered from his forfeitures many that have at times made moan to me. Therefore he hates me.
I am sure the Duke will not grant his forfeiture to hold.
But you cannot deny the courts of law. For the commodity that strangers had with us in Venice, if it be denied, will much impeach the justice of the state, since that the trade and profit of the city consisteth of all nations. Therefore go. These griefs and losses have so baited me that I shall hardly spare a pound of flesh tomorrow to my bloody creditor. Well, jailer, on. Pray God Bassanio come to see me pay his debt. And I care not.
Lorenzo, I commit into your hands the husbandry and manage of my house until my lord's return. There is a monastery 2 miles off, and there I will abide, only attended by Nerissa here. I do desire you not to deny this imposition, the which my love and some importance now lays upon you.
Madam, with all my heart, I shall obey you in all fair commands.
My people do already know my mind, and will acknowledge you and Jessica in place of Lord Bassanio and myself.
Fair thoughts and happy hours attend on you. Jessica and I wish your ladyship all heart's content.
I accept your wish, and am well pleased to wish it back on you. Fare you well, Jessica. Now, Betty Balthazar, as I have ever found thee honest true, so let me find thee still. Take this same letter, and use thou all the endeavor of a man in speed to Padua. Render this into my cousin's hand, Doctor Bellario, and look what notes and garments he doth give thee. Bring them with imagined speed, I pray thee, unto the traject, to the common ferry that trades with Venice. Waste no time in words, but get thee gone. I'll be there before thee.
Madam, I go with all convenient speed.
Come on, Nerissa. I have work in hand you yet not know of. We'll see our husbands before they think of us.
Shall they see us?
Aye, they shall. But in such a habit that they shall think we are accomplished with what we lack. And I'll be any wager when we are both accoutred like young men. I'll prove the prettier fellow of the two, and bear my dagger with a braver grace, and speak between the change of a man and a boy with a reed voice, and turn two mincing steps into a manly stride. I have 1,000 broad tricks of these bragging jacks which I will practice.
Why shall we turn to men?
Ah, what a question that! Thou wert a lewd interpreter. But come, I'll tell thee my whole device were in my coat, which stays for us at the south gate. But come, haste away, for we must measure 20 miles today.
Yes, truly, for look you, the sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. Therefore, I promise you, I fear you. I was always playing with you, and so now I speak my agitation of the matter. Therefore, be of good cheer, for truly I think that you are damned. There is but one hope in it that can do you any good, and that is but a kind of bastard hope neither.
And what hope is that, I pray thee?
Mary, you may partly hope that your father got you not, that you are not the Jew's daughter.
That were a kind of bastard hope indeed. So the sins of my mother should be visited upon me?
Truly, then, I fear you are damned by both father and mother. Thus, when I shun Scylla, your father, I fall into Charybdis, your mother. Well, you are gone both ways.
I shall be saved by my husband. He hath made me a Christian.
Oh, truly, the more to blame he. We were Christians enough before, e'en as many as could well live one by another. This making of Christians will raise the price of hogs. If we all grow to be pork eaters, we shall not shortly have a rasher on the coals for money.
I'll tell my husband what you say, Lancelot. Here he is.
I shall grow jealous of you shortly, Lancelot, if you thus get my wife into corners.
Nay, you need not fear us, Lorenzo. Lancelot and I are out. He tells me flatly that there is no mercy for me in heaven, for I am a Jew's daughter, and that you are no good member of the Commonwealth, for in converting Jews to Christians, you raise the price of pork.
How every fool can play upon the word. I think the best grace of wit will shortly turn into silence, and discourse grow commendable in none only but Paris. Go in, sirrah, bid them prepare for dinner.
That is done, sir. They all have stomachs.
Goodly Lord, what a wit snapper are you. Then bid them prepare dinner.
All that is done too, sir, only cover is the word.
Will you cover then, sir?
Oh, not so neither, sir. I know my duty.
What, more quarreling with occasion? Wilt thou show the whole wealth of thy wit in an instant? I pray thee, understand a plain man in his plain meaning. Go to thy fellows, bid them cover the table, serve in the meat. We will come into dinner.
For the table, sir, it shall be served in. For the meat, sir, it shall be covered. For your coming into dinner, sir, why let it be as humors and conceit shall govern.
Oh, dear discretion, how his words are suited. The fool hath planted in his memory an army of good words. And I do know of many fools that stand in better place, garnished like him, that for a tricksy word defy the matter. How cheerest thou, Jessica? And now, good sweet, say thy opinion. How dost thou like the Lord Bassanio's wife?
Oh, past all expressing. It is very meet the Lord Bassanio live an upright life, for in having such a blessing in his lady, he finds the joys of heaven here on earth. And if on earth he do not merit it, in reason he should never come to heaven. Why, if two gods should place some heavenly match, and on the wager lay two earthly women, and Portia one, there must be something else pawned with the other, for the poor rude world hath not her fellow.
Even such a husband hast thou of me, as she is for a wife.
Nay, but ask my opinion too of that.
I will anon. First, let us go to dinner.
Nay, let me praise you while I have a stomach.
No, pray thee, let it serve for table talk. Then, howsoever thou speakst, among other things, I shall digest it.
Well, I'll set you forth.
Antonio here.
Ready, so please your grace.
I am sorry for thee. Or I come to answer a stony adversary, an inhuman wretch, incapable of pity, void and empty from any dram of mercy.
I have heard your grace hath taken great pains to qualify his rigorous course. But since he stands obdurate, and that no lawful means can carry me out of his envy's reach, I do oppose my patience to his fury, and am armed to suffer with the quietness of spirit, the very tyranny and rage of his.
Go on, and call the Jew into the court.
He's ready at the door. He comes, my lord.
Make room. Let him stand before our face. Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou but leadst this fashion of thy malice to the last hour of that, and then 'tis thought thou show thy mercy and remorse more strange than is thy strange apparent cruelty. And where thou now exacts the penalty, which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, thou wilt not only lose the forfeiture, but touched with human gentleness and love, forgive the moiety of his principle, glancing an eye of pity on his losses that have of late so huddled on his back, enough to press a royal merchant down. We all expect a gentle answer, Jew.
I have possessed your grace for that purpose. And by our holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the Jew in forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, let the danger light upon your charter and your city's freedom. You'll ask me why I rather choose to have a weight of carrying flesh than to receive 3,000 ducats. I'll not answer that, but say it is my humor. Is it answered? What if my house be troubled with a rat?
and I be pleased to give 10,000 ducats to have it paid. What? Are you answered yet? Some men there are love not a gaping pig. Some that are mad if they behold a cat. Others, when they hear the bagpipes sing in the nose, cannot contain their urine. For affection, mistress of passion, sways it to the mood of what it likes or loathes. Now for your answer. As there is no firm reason to be rendered why he cannot abide the gaping pig, why he, a harmless, necessary cat, why he, a woolen bagpipe, but the force must yield to such inevitable shame to offend himself being offended. So, can I give you no reason, nor I will not, more than a lodged hate and certain loathing I bear Antonio, that I follow thus a losing suit against him. Are you answered?
This is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty.
I am not bound to please thee with my answer.
Do all men kill the things they do not love?
Hates any man the thing he would not kill?
Every offense is not a hate at first.
What, wouldst thou have a serpent sting thee twice?
I pray you think you question with the Jew. You may as well go stand upon the beach and bid the main flood bait his usual height. You may as well use question with the wolf, why he hath made the ewe bleat for the lamb. Make no more offers. Use no farther means. But with all brief and plain conveniency, let me have judgment, and the Jew his will.
For thy 3,000 ducats, here is 6.
If every ducat and 6,000 ducats were 6 parts, and every part a ducat, I would not draw them. I would have my bond.
Or shalt thou hope for mercy, rendering none?
What judgment shall I dread, doing no wrong? To have among you many a purchased slave, which, like your asses and your dogs and your mules, you use in abject and slavish parts, because you bought them. Shall I tell you, and let them be free? Marry them to your heirs? Why sweat they under burdens? Let their beds be made as soft as yours. Let their palates be seasoned with such viands. And you will answer, the slaves are ours. So do I answer you. The pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought. 'Tis mine, and I will have it. If you deny me, fire upon your law. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand for judgment. Answer, shall I have it?
Upon my power, I may dismiss this court.
Yes, this is...
Unless Bellario, learned doctor for whom I have sent to determine this comes today.
My lord, here stands without a messenger, with letters from the doctor, new come from Padua.
Bring us the letters. Call the messenger.
Good cheer, Antonio. What, man? Courage yet. The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones and all, if thou shalt lose from me one drop of blood.
I am the tainted wether of the flock, meetest for death. The weakest kind of fruit drops earliest to the ground, and so let me. You cannot better be employed, Bassanio, than to live still and to write mine epitaph.
Came you from Padua, from Bellario?
From both, my lord. Bellario greets your grace.
Why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly?
To cut the forfeit from this bankrupt here.
Not on thy soul, but on thy soul, harsh Jew, thou makest thy knife keen. But no metal can, no, not the hangman's axe, bear half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can no prayers pierce thee?
No, none that thou hast wit enough to make.
Thou be thou damn yourself, dog! For thy life, let justice stand accused.
So thou canst rail the seal from off my wand. Thou fence thy lungs to speak so loud. Repair thy wit, good youth, or it will fall to cureless ruin. I stand here for law.
This letter from Bellario doth commend a young and learned doctor to our court. Where is he?
He attended here hard by to know your answer, whether you'll admit him.
With all my heart. Some 3 or 4 of you, go give him courteous conduct to this place. Meantime, the court shall hear Bellario's letter. Your grace shall understand that at the receipt of your letter I am very sick. But in the instant that your messenger came and loving visitation was with me, a young doctor of Rome. His name is Balthazar. I acquainted him with the cause and controversy between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. We turned over many books together. He is furnished with my opinion, which bettered with his own learning, the greatness whereof I cannot enough commend, comes with him at my importunity to fill your grace's request in my stead. I beseech you to let his lack of years be no impediment to let him lack a reverent estimation, for I never knew so young a body with so old a head. I leave him to your gracious acceptance, whose trial shall better publish his commendation. You hear the learned Bellario what he writes, and here I take it as the doctor comes. Give me your hand. Came you from old Bellario?
I did, my lord.
You are welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the court?
I'm informed thoroughly of the cause. Which is the merchant here and which the Jew?
Antonio and old Shylock. Both stand forward.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow, and yet such rule of Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. You stand in his danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the Jew be merciful.
On compulsion must I tell thee that?
The quality of mercy is not strange. It droppeth as a gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest of the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, an attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptered sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself. An earthly power doth then show likest God when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which, if thou follow, this strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchant there.
My deeds upon my head, I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge the money?
Yes, here. I tender it for him in the court. And if that will not suffice, I'll be bound to pay it 10 times more, on penalty of my hands, my head, my heart. And if this will not suffice, it must appear that malice bears down truth. And I beseech you, rest once the law to your authority, to do a great right, do a little wrong, and curb this cruel devil of his will.
It must not be. There is no power in Venice can alter a decree established. It will be recorded for a precedent, and many an error by the same example will rush into the state. It cannot be.
Daniel, come to judgment. Yea, Daniel. Oh, wise young judge, how I do honor thee.
I pray thee, let me look upon the bond.
Here it is, Reverend Doctor, here it is.
Shylock, there is thrice thy money offered thee.
An oath. I have an oath to hand. Shall I lay perjury upon my soul? No, not for Venice.
Why, this bond is forfeit, and rightfully by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh to be by him cut off nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful. Take thrice thy money. Bid me tear the bond.
Why, it is paid according to the tenor. It does appear you are a worthy judge. You know the law. Your exposition has been most sound. I charge you by the law, whereof you are a well-deserved peer. Proceed to judgment. By my soul, I swear there is no power in the tongue of man to alter me. I stand here on my bond.
Hartley, I do beseech the court to give the judgment.
Why then thus it is. You must prepare your bosom for his knife.
Oh, noble judge, how excellent young man.
For the intent and purpose of the law have full relation to the penalty which here appeareth due upon the bond.
It is very true. A wise and upright judge. How much more elder art thou than thy looks?
Therefore lay bare your bosom.
Aye, his breast. So says the bond, doth it not, noble judge? Nearest his heart, those are the very words.
It is so. Are there balance here to weigh the flesh?
I have them ready.
Have by some surgeon, Shylock, on your charge to stop his wounds lest he do bleed to death.
Is it so nominated in the bond?
It is not so expressed. But what of that? 'Twere good you do so much for charity.
I do not find it. It's not in the bond.
You, merchant, have you anything to say?
But little, I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well. Grieve not that I am forward to this for you. Commend me to your honorable wife. Tell her the process of Antonio's end. Say how I loved you. Speak thee fair in death. And when the tale is told, bid her be judged whether Bassanio had not once a love. Repent but you that you shall lose your friend. He repents not that he pays your debt. For if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I'll pay it instantly with all my heart.
Antonio, I am married to a wife which is as dear to me as life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all the world are not with me esteemed above thy life. I would lose them all. I sacrifice them all here to this devil to deliver you.
Your wife would give you little thanks for that if she were by to hear you make the offer.
Have a wife who I protest I love. I wish she were in heaven, so she could entreat some power to change this cursed Jew.
'Tis well you offer it behind her back. The wish would make else an unquiet house.
These be the Christian husbands. I have a daughter who was any of the tribe of Barabbas had been her husband rather than a Christian. But we trifle time. Pursue sentence, I prithee.
A pound of that same merchant's flesh is thine. The court awards it and the law doth give it.
Oh, most rightful judge.
And you must cut this flesh from off his breast. The law allows it and the court awards it.
Most learned judge. A sentence. Come prepared.
There is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh. Then take thy bond, take thee thy pound of flesh. But in the cutting of it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are by the state of Venice confiscate unto the state of Venice.
Oh, upright judge! Mark you! Oh, learned judge!
Is that the law?
Thyself shalt see the act. For as thou urgest justice, be assured, thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest.
Oh, learned judge! Mark you! A learned judge!
Take this offer then. Pay the bond thrice, let the Christian go.
Here is the money.
Soft, he shall have all justice. Soft, no haste. He shall have nothing but the penalty.
Oh, Jew, an upright judge, a learned judge!
Therefore prepare thee to take off the flesh. Shed thou no blood, nor cut thou less or no more than a just pound of flesh. If thou takest more or less than a just pound, be it so much as makes the scale light or heavy in the substance or the division of the 20th part of one poor scruple. Nay, if the scale do turn in the estimation of a hair, thou diest, and all thy goods are confiscate.
A second Daniel, a Daniel Jew! Now, infidel, I have you on the hip.
Why doth the Jew pause? Take thy forfeiture.
Give me my principal, let me go.
I have it ready.
He has refused it in the open court. He shall have merely justice and his bond.
A Daniel still, I say, a second Daniel! I thank thee, Jew, for teaching me that word.
Shall I not have fairly my principal?
You shall have nothing but the forfeiture to be so taken at thy peril, Jew.
Oh, nay then. Now give him good of it. I'll no longer stay, no longer question.
Tarry, Jew. There is another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice, if it be proved against an alien, that by direct or indirect attempts he seek the life of any citizen, the party against which he doth contrive shall seize one half his goods. The other half goes to the privy coffer of the state, and the offender's life lies in the mercy of the Duke only, against all other voice. In which predicament I say thou standst, for it appears by manifest proceeding that indirectly and directly too, thou hast contrived against the very life of the defendant, and thou hast incurred the danger formerly by me rehearsed. Down, therefore, and beg mercy of the Duke.
Beg that thou mayst have these hanged thyself. And yet, thy goods being confiscated to the state, thou hast not left the value of the cord. Therefore, thou must be hanged at the state's charge.
But thou shalt see the difference of our spirit. I pardon thee thy life before thou ask it. For half thy wealth it is Antonio's. The other half comes unto the general state, which humbleness may drive unto a fine.
Aye, for the state, not for Antonio.
Nay, take my life and all, pardon not that. You take my house when you do take the prop, which does the same my house. You take my life when you do take the means whereby
What mercy could you render him, Antonio?
Altar gratis, nothing else for God's sake.
So please my lord the Duke and all the court to quit the fine for one half his goods, I am content. So he will let me have the other half in use to render it upon his death unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter. 2 things provided more, that for this favor he presently become a Christian. The other, that he do record a gift here in the court of all he dies, possessed unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter.
He shall do this, else I do recant the pardon that I late pronounce it here.
Art thou contented, Gild? What dost thou say?
I am content.
Clerk, draw a deed of gift.
Prithee, give me leave to go from hence. I am not well. Send the deed after me, I will send.
Get thee gone, but do it.
Prisoning, shalt thou have 2 godfathers, and I've been judged thou shouldst have had 10 more, to bring thee to the gallows, not to the font.
Sir, I entreat you home with me to dinner.
I humbly do desire your grace of pardon. I must away this night toward Padua, and it is meet I presently set forth.
I am sorry your leisure serves you not. Antonio, gratify this gentleman, for in my mind you are much bound to him.
Most worthy gentlemen, I and my friends have by your wisdom been this day acquitted of grievous penalties. In lieu whereof 3,000 ducats was due unto the Jew, we freely cope your courteous pains withal.
And stand indebted over and above in love and service to you evermore.
He is well paid that is well satisfied, and I, delivering you, am satisfied, and bearing to account myself well paid. My mind was never yet more mercenary. I pray you know me when we meet again. Therefore I take my leave.
Dear sir, of force, I must attempt you further. Take some remembrance of us as a tribute, not as a fee. Grant me 2 things, I pray you, not to deny me and to pardon me.
You press me far, and therefore I will yield. Give me your gloves, I will wear them for your sake. And for your love, I shall take this ring from you. Do not draw back your hand. I shall have nothing but this, and you in love shall not deny it me.
This ring, alas, good sir, this ring is a trifle. I will not shame myself to give you this.
I shall have nothing else but only this. And now methinks I have a mind to it.
More depends on this than the value. The dearest ring in Venice I will give you, and seek it out by proclamation. Only for this, I pray you pardon me.
I see, sir, you are liberal in offers. First you teach me to beg, and now methinks you teach me how a beggar might be answered.
This ring was given me by my wife, and when she put it on, she made me vow that I should neither give nor sell nor lose it.
That excuse serves many men to save their gifts. And if your wife be not a mad woman, and know how well I have deserved this ring, she will not hold out enemy forever for your giving it to me. But peace be with you.
My lord Bassanio, let him have the ring. Let his deservings and my love withal be valued against your wife's commandment.
Go, Graziano. Run and o'ertake him, give him the ring, and bring him if thou canst unto Antonio's house. Away, make haste! Come. You and I will thither presently, and in the morning early we will both fly toward Belmont. Come, Antonio.
The moon shines bright. In such a night as this, when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees, and they did make no noise, in such a night, Troilus, methinks, mounted the Trojan walls, and sighed his soul toward the Grecian tents where Cressid lay that night.
In such a night did Thisbe fearfully o'ertrip the dew, and saw the lion's shadow ere himself, and ran dismayed away.
In such a night stood Dido with a willow in her hand upon the wild sea banks, waft her love to come again to Carthage.
In such a night, Medea gathered the enchanted herbs that did renew old Aeson.
In such a night did Jessica steal from the wealthy Jew, and with an unthrift love did run from Venice as far as Belmont.
In such a night did young Lorenzo swear he loved her well, stealing her soul with many vows of faith, and ne'er a true one.
In such a night did pretty Jessica, like a little shrew, slander her love, and he forgave it her.
I would outnight you did no one come, but hark, I hear the footing of one.
Who comes so fast in silence of the night?
A friend.
A friend? What friend? Your name, I pray you, friend.
Stephana is my name, and I bring word my mistress will before the break of day be here at Belmont. She doth stray about by holy crosses, where she kneels and prays for happy wedlock hours.
Who comes with her?
None but a holy hermit and her maid. I pray you, is my master yet returned?
He is not, nor have we not heard from him. But go we in, I pray thee, Jessica, and ceremoniously let us prepare some welcome for the mistress of the house. Who calls?
Did you see Master Lorenzo? Master Lorenzo!
Leave hollering, man, here.
Where? Where?
Here!
Tell him there's a post come from my master with his horn full of good news. My master will be here ere morning.
Sweet soul, let's in, and there expect their coming. And yet, no matter, why should we go in? My friend Stephana, signify, I pray, within the house your mistress is at hand, and bring forth your music into the air. How sweet the moonlight sleeps upon this bank. Here we will sit, and let the sounds of music creep in our ears. Soft stillness in the night become the touches of sweet harmony. Sit, Jessica. Look how the floor of heaven is thick inlaid with patterns of bright gold. There is but the smallest orb which thou beholdest, but in his motion like an angel sings, still choiring to young-eyed cherubims. Such harmony is in immortal souls, but whilst this muddy vesture of decay doth grossly close it in, we cannot hear it. Come, ho, and wake Diana with a hymn. With sweetest touches pierce your mistress's ear, and draw her home with music.
I am never merry when I hear sweet music.
The man that has no music in himself, nor is not moved with conquered of sweet sound, is fit for treasons, stratagems, spoils. The motions of his spirit are dull as night, and his affections dark as Erebus. Let no such man be trusted. Mark the music.
And my PC is burning in my hall. How far the little candle goes his beam. So shines a good deed in a naughty world.
When the moon shone, we did not see the candle.
So doth the greater glory dim the less. A substitute shines brightly as a king, until a king be by, and then his state empties itself, as doth an inland brook into the main of waters. Music, hark!
It is your music, madam of the house.
Nothing is good I see without respect. Methinks it sounds much sweeter than by day. A crow sings as sweetly as a lark, when neither is attended.
Silence bestows that virtue on it, madam.
So, the moon sleeps with Endymion and would not be awaked.
That is the voice, or I am much deceived, of Portia.
He knows me as the blind man knows the cuckoo, by the bad voice.
Dear lady, welcome home.
We have been praying for our husband's welfare, which speed we hope the better for our words. Are they returned?
Madam, they are not yet, but there is come before a messenger to signify their coming.
Go with Nerissa, and charge our servants to take no note of our being absent hence. Nor you, Lorenzo, Jessica, nor you.
Your master is at hand. I hear his approach. We are no telltales, my lady. Fear you not.
This night methinks is but the daylight sick. It looks a little paler. 'Tis a day such as the day when the sun is hid.
We should hold day with the Antipodes if you would walk in absence of the sun.
Oh, let me give light, but let me not be light. For a light wife doth make a heavy husband, and never be Bassanio so for me. But God sort all. You are welcome home, my lord.
I thank you, madam. Bid welcome to my friend. This is the man. This is Antonio, to whom I am so infinitely bound.
You should in all sense be much bound to him, for as I hear, he was much bound for you.
No more than I am well acquitted for.
Sir, you are very welcome to our house, and it must appear in other ways than words. Therefore I scant this breathing courtesy.
By yonder moon, I swear you do me wrong. In faith, I gave it to the judge's clerk. Would he were dealt that had it for my part, since you do take it, love, so much at heart.
A quarrel already. Now what's the matter?
About a hoop of gold, a paltry ring that she did give me, whose posy was for all the world like cutler's poetry upon a knife. Love me and leave me not.
What talk you of the posy or the value? You swore to me when I did give it to you that you would wear it till your hour of death, that it should lie with you in your grave. Though not for me, yet for your vehement oaths you should have been respected and have kept it. Gave it a judge's clerk. Ha! God's my judge. The clerk will never err on his face that had it.
He will, and if he lived to be a man.
Aye, if a woman lived to be a man.
Now by his hand, I gave it to a youth, a kind of boy. A little scrubbed boy no higher than thyself, the judge's clerk. A prating boy that begged it as a fee. I could not for my heart deny it.
You were to blame, I must be plain with you. Part so slightly with your wife's first gift, a thing stuck on with oaths upon your finger, and so riveted with faith onto your flesh. Oh, I gave my love a ring, and made him swear never to part with it. And here he stands. I dare be sworn for him he would not lose it, nor pluck it from his finger for the wealth that the world masters. Now in faith, Gratiano, you give your wife too unkind a cause of grief. And for me, I would be mad at it.
Why, were best to cut my left hand off and swear I lost the ring defending it.
My lord Bassanio gave his ring away unto the judge that begged it, and as he deserved it too. And then the boy, his clerk, that took some pains in writing, he begged mine. And neither man nor master would take aught but the two rings.
What ring gave you, my lord? Not that, I hope, which you received of me.
If I could add a lie unto a fault, I would deny it. But you can see, my finger hath not the ring upon it. It is gone.
Even so void is your false heart of truth. Now, by heaven, I will ne'er come in your bed until I see the ring.
Nor I in yours till I again see mine.
Sweet Portia, if you did know to whom I gave the ring, if you did know for whom I gave the ring, or would conceive for what I gave the ring, and how unwillingly I left the ring when naught would be accepted but the ring, you would abate the strength of your displeasure.
If you did know the virtue of the ring, or have her worthiness that gave the ring, or your own honor to contain the ring, you would not then have parted with the ring. What man is there so much unreasonable? If you had defended it with any terms of zeal, wanted the modesty to urge the thing held as a ceremony, Nerissa teaches me what to believe. Oh, God, for some woman had...
No, by my soul, no. A woman had it but a civil doctor, which did refuse 3,000 ducats of me, and begged the ring, the which I did deny him and suffered him to go displeased away, even he that had held up the very life of my dear friend. True. Lady, what should I say? I was enforced to send it after him. I was beset with shame and courtesy. My honor would not let ingratitude so much besmear it. Pardon me, good lady, for by these blessed candles of the night, had you been there, I think you would have begged the ring of me to give the worthy doctor.
Let not that doctor e'er come near my house. Since he has got the jewel I loved, and that which you did swear to keep from me, I will become as liberal as you. I'll not deny him anything I have. No, not my body nor my husband's bed. Know him I shall, I am well sure of it. Lie not a night from home. Watch me like Argus. If you do not, if I be left alone, now by mine honor, which is yet mine own, I'll have that doctor for my bedfellow.
And I, his clerk, therefore be well advised how you do lead me to mine own protection.
Well, do you so? Let me not take him then, for if I do, I'll mar the young clerk's hair.
I am the unhappy subject of these quarrels.
Oh, sir, grieve not you. You are welcome notwithstanding.
Portia, forgive me this enforced wrong, and in the hearing of these many friends, I swear to thee, even by thine own fair eyes, wherein I see myself.
Mark you but that, in my eyes he doubly sees himself, in each I one. Swear by your double self, and there's an oath of credit.
Nay, but hear me. Pardon this fault, and I swear by my soul, I never more will break an oath with thee.
I once did lend my body for his wealth, which but for him that had your husband's ring had quite miscarried. I dare be bound again, my soul upon the forfeit, that your lord will never more break faith advisedly.
Then you shall be his surety. Here, give him this and bid him keep it better than the other.
Here, Lord Bassanio, swear to keep this ring.
By heaven, it is the same I gave the doctor.
Pardon me, Bassanio, for by this ring the doctor lay with me.
And pardon me, my gentle Graziano, for that same scrubbed boy, the doctor's clerk, in lieu of this last night, did lie with me.
Why, this is like the mending of highways in summer, where the ways are fair enough. What, are we cuckolds ere we have deserved it?
Oh, speak not so grossly. You are all amazed. Here is a letter. Read it at your leisure. It comes from Padua, from Bellario. There you shall find that Portia was the doctor. Nerissa there, her clerk. Lorenzo here shall bear witness I set forth as soon as you, and have even but now returned. I have not yet entered my house. Antonio, you are very welcome, and I have better news in store for you than you expect. Unseal this letter soon. There you shall find that 3 of your argosies have richly come to harbor suddenly. You shall not know by what strange accident I chanced on this letter.
I am dumb. Were you the doctor? And I knew you not. Were you the clerk that was to make me cuckold?
Aye, but the clerk that never means to do it unless he live until he be a man.
Sweet doctor, tonight you shall be my bedfellow, and when I am absent, then lie with my wife.
Sweet lady, you have given me life and living. For here I read for certain that my ships are safely come to road.
How now, Lorenzo? My clerk has some good comforts too for you.
Aye, and I'll give them him without a fee. There do I give to you and Jessica from the rich Jew a special deed of gift after his death of all he dies possessed of.
Huh. Dear ladies, you drop manna in the way of starving people.
It is almost morning, and yet I am sure you are not satisfied of these events at home. Let us go in and charge us there upon interrogatories, and we will answer all things faithfully.
Let it be so. And the first interrogatory that my Nerissa shall be sworn on is, whether till the next night she had rather stay, or go to bed now, being 2 hours today. But were the day come, I should wish it dark, till I were couching with the doctor's clerk. Well, while I live, I'll fear no other thing, so sore as keeping safe Nerissa's ring.